But then what is over-consuming?
Like eating more than what you need. Like, are you over-consuming fat? Are you over-consuming sugar, added sugar? Are you over-consuming salt? There are certain population that actually need a little bit more carbohydrates. Depends on the activity level. Athlete, they may need more than that, but are you an athlete? Have you even tried eating it first? So I want you to be curious about your body response first.
Fruits is bad for you? I've never heard of that. Really? Some people think fruits are bad for
Actually,
you because
yes.
what? Because it's sweet?
Sugar. If a lot of people are eating too much fruit, then our NHMS won't show us that 90+% of Malaysians not eating fruits and vegetables. When it comes to leftovers, they have this misconception where it's bad. But it's bad because you have left it outside in room temp for more than 2 hours.
Because apparently if you keep your food when it's hot, it's bad.
That was back then when we haven't had a really good fridge technology, right?
Hello everyone, welcome to V On Air's brand new podcast series, The Whole Story. My name is Natalie Chai, and through this podcast we are looking to speak to Malaysians of impact and also to listen to their side of the story. If you're tuning in from rwgenting.com website, welcome. And if you're actually strolling around Resorts World Genting, listening to this, we hope you share some good vibes with us and tag us at Resorts World Genting. For our episode today, we have a guest who holds a Master of Science in Nutrition, yet really boldly reminds us that food is not all about nutrition. Please join me in welcoming Zhi Ling.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having me here. So, introduce myself again. My name is Zhi Ling. I'm a nutritionist, also a content creator on social media, several social media platforms. My main content is revolving around helping Malaysians to feel less intimidated by healthy eating.
I love that. So Zhi Ling is a Malaysian nutritionist, as she's actually introduced herself, and best known as an advocate for embracing food culture while staying healthy. Right, so she creates really relatable content from bringing your own veggies, you have a hashtag BYOV, or even your own fruits, to sharing very easy, creative microwave or one-pot meals that you can just easily make at home. So she reminds us that you really don't have to choose between heritage or health, but still, you can enjoy your favorite bazaar Ramadan bazaars, or your favorite fans, as long as you know how to make very mindful choices. So tell us, Zhi Ling, what inspired you to pursue nutrition from the beginning?
My family was, or still is, a very health conscious family. So I grew up eating a lot of steamed food and quite balanced meal throughout my teenage years, even until my young adult journey, period, and that actually pushes me to want to know more about nutrition. And I'm also quite interested in how nutrition, how food affects our health, affects our performance per se. So I think those are the reasons that push me to pursue nutrition as a course or for my degree.
Is it because does it come from a point of curiosity where you're like, okay, my parents have told me to do this since we were young. I now need to know the reason why behind it.
Yeah, so it's almost, curiosity is actually the word. So I'm curious how does different combination of food will help us to feel better, or as simple as before exam, what kind of food should I eat? Yeah, so that was me back then. Like, I want to eat more vegetables than carbs before exam so that I can stay alert. So I was already quite interested in all this information. So that probably really one of the reasons to want to study nutrition.
So you do realize that the different kind of food intake makes you feel different for every different occasion. And has that stuck with you till now, where you realize that, okay, today I'm going to go do some sports and this is what I'm going to do. But today I'm going to, I don't know, maybe go on a holiday, do a massage, and this is what I should eat before. Do you think that way, compartmentalize what you need to eat before every activity, or?
So that was me back then, right? But actually now I'm more lax about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm more lax about that because I know that as long as my day-to-day it overall dietary pattern is balanced and is fueling me. I don't have to be so obsessed about one particular eating period before something that I want to do. Like for example, if I'm doing sports, do I need to eat more carbs or eat less carb? Generally, I'm not. Even for my sports, I'm not like doing it aggressively or very intensive way. So I just eat normal for the most of the time.
So you would say a balance throughout and the long term is more important than you stressing out on the smaller details of what to eat at what time, that kind of thing.
Correct.
Interesting. You also have this thing called food is not just about nutrition. It's on your bio, right? Food is just not just about nutrition.
Food is not all about nutrition.
Food is not all about nutrition.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through that? And was there a point in your life that made you realize that that was the case?
So this particular statement is actually for me to remind myself, to be honest. I wouldn't say that this is a statement that I am fully embracing it now, like 100%. But it's different occasion throughout my life that reminded me about this. So even recently when like for example, when I got together with my chef boyfriend, his name is Aaron. So he had his own sentiments around food and dishes. So even with him in such a recent period where I've already had this much had this following on my social media, and I've already been advocating for empathy for nutrition and health, but sometimes I still forget that food is really not just about nutrition, because food, for example, for Aaron, it can be his memories with his family, and his past experience with his grandpa and grandma. So it's not fair to just talk about food in a nutritional perspective. Yeah, I think one of the recent K-drama also showed us a very good example of how food is not just nutrition. What's the name again?
Bon Appetit. Bon
Yes,
Appetit,
correct.
Your Majesty.
Correct. So food can be history. Food can be memory with your loved ones, or memory of losing your loved ones. So there are so many things around food that it's not just nutrition. So yeah, I think different occasions in my life reminded me about that. So I decided to put that statement on my profile to remind myself and remind my audience about that.
Very interesting perspective. So it's like how when you look at the photo, you think about a certain time in your life. When you smell a certain kind of smell, it reminds you of a person.
Yeah.
So just like food, so what you're trying to say is not all about nutrition. There are so many factors to food that can bring you back to a certain time in your life, or really just represent a certain emotion for you as well. So there's a lot of factors to food.
Yep. Correct.
And you've also mentioned that you've done this whole social media for a while now before you met Aaron,
Yeah.
right? How did that all first start, like your social media journey? Did you just start off knowing that you would be a content creator, or did you just start off sharing things that you wanted to share and it just snowballed into what it is today?
So I started my so-called content creation journey back in MCO. So back then, I was just using social media as my diary of my recipes, because you have to cook at home, right? You have nowhere to go. So you cook at home, I took a photo, and then I post it online. So it's kind of like my diary, and also probably just act as an inspiration for my friends and family, because some of them said that, hey, I've never thought of cooking certain food this way. So share us more. So post more. I would like to know. So that act as motivation for me to continue to share my content. Back then, I wasn't even seeing it as content. I didn't know. So I just keep sharing and sharing. At one point, I was doing weekend Q&A with my audience as a mean of practicing my knowledge. So because I wasn't fully practicing my knowledge in my full-time job. I was a sales coach in telehealth company, but the sales coach requires me to just give a very simple nutrition evaluation or nutrition information to my client, and then I'll have to pitch them 3 month, 6 month, 9 month program. It's legit program. It's legit dietary program, legit fitness program. It's just that everything done through call. So I don't think I've practiced that enough. So I do weekend Q&A on the site to help me to sharpen up my nutrition
Because the more
knowledge.
questions that come in, the more you stimulate your own brain
Correct,
too, right?
Correct. Then I have to study. I have to make sure I convey the message correctly, accurately. So that's when I started to have more so-called content. But it was just a story. But it snowball, continue to snowball until I continue to post video online when Instagram just started their video function.
The
They just
reels,
correct,
the
the
reels.
reels function. So I started with the lip syncing trend. So it was back then. It was quite trendy where people just lip syncing to certain audio and then they put words on the video and just that's it. So I relate that to my nutrition knowledge. So I use that and apply that in nutrition so that people can learn through entertaining video like that. So it continues, and then to a point where I get to collaborate with a Japanese kitchen appliances company. Can
That's
we
your first, their first sponsored
correct,
one.
Correct, first sponsored one, correct.
Okay.
It's not a lot, but they give me a chance to collaborate, and they give me total freedom to create what kind of content, whatever kind of content I want to do. So I was quite fortunate. I was actually quite glad that they gave me that freedom. So that one particular video that started the entire official content creation journey is my 54321 grocery shopping formula.
Yeah, tell us more about that.
Yeah, so it was a grocery shopping formula that guide people to shop for their weekly grocery by focusing on types of food instead of what you should buy. So I gave them idea where you can buy 5 types of vegetables. So I listed out what kind of vegetables they can buy, like quick cook vegetables, raw vegetables, vegetables that can be stored longer, or colorful vegetables. So all these different options, and then continue to 4 different types of protein, 3 different types of fruits, 2 different types of non-cooking carbs, and then 1 type of fun food. So that entire grocery shopping formula, it really helped us to boil down the entire dietary guideline and everything that you should eat to be healthy to a very simple formula. So I think that maybe makes people feel like, grocery shopping formula is not that complicated.
It's not that hard because now you've put things into words that makes people think, okay, actually I just need to follow this formula and I have a pretty balanced
Correct.
grocery list.
Correct.
Do you remember, has anybody ever written in to tell you that, hey, I'm practicing this formula and it's doing good for me?
Yeah, a lot of them actually. So they wrote in their comments either under the reel or through DMs and telling me that your grocery shopping formula is helping me a lot because it just make grocery shopping formula so easy right now, and I don't have to think. So that's how it makes wonder for people who don't have a direction to how they can start their health journey. So I think this could be one of a very, very simple steps for them to just focus on one thing at a time. To focus on shopping for grocery for using this formula, and because you have already shopped for that, so you have no other choice. You have to only eat
But
those
to
food
consume
to
that
consume
food.
those food. So you have already had 80% of whole food in your pantry, and that's what you get for your body also.
So I want to know your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like your go-to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So walk us through your 5 vegetables, and then it was 4 protein, was it?
Yep.
3 fruits, 2 non-cooking carbs, and 1 fun food. Yeah.
So 5 vegetables. The first vegetables is quick cook vegetables. So it will usually consist of leafy vegetables. So either bak choy, bayam, okra, although they are not leafy, it's bean, but it cook very, very quickly. So those can be cooked in microwave also, right? And then vegetables that can be stored longer, cabbages, celery. So these are vegetables that can be stored longer. Vegetables that are colorful, so bell peppers, eggplant, the mini peppers, a lot of those colorful vegetables, tomatoes, And then,
Are carrots considered?
of course.
Okay.
Yeah. And then another one is raw vegetables. So cucumbers, of course. Japanese cucumbers, mini peppers. It's also colorful vegetables, but also quick raw vegetables that can be eaten raw. Romaine. So it's very, very simple. You can just pluck a few leaves and then you just dump it in your instant noodles. Then you have like fiber in your instant noodles. The last one is tubers. So it's like potatoes. So those are also considered vegetables. But sometimes you want to switch up your carbohydrate source. So those are very good carbohydrate source. So it's like tubers, potatoes, sweet potatoes, yam sometimes if you like yam. So I think those are my 5 different types of vegetables. And then 4 main protein for me is tofu is a must. I love my tofu. And then fish, frozen fish especially, because I don't like raw fish sitting in my
Not
fridge.
everybody can handle a raw fish also.
Correct. So that's one. And then another one is milk. So it's either soy milk or fresh milk. Yeah.
Oh.
So a lot of people forget that milk is also one of the protein
Yeah.
sources. And it's a protein sources that are high in calcium. So that's one. And then another one should be seafood. Yeah. So or meat, chicken.
Yep.
Chicken is my always go to lah. Easier. So that's 4. And then 3 fruits. Grapes, apple, and plum. So those are my
those are
usual
your go-to.
Correct, those are my go-to. And then 2 carbs is cereals and bread. I love my cereals. Of course, I will shop for low sugar cereal, but I love my cereals because it's a very, very quick breakfast option. And then last one, fun food. To be honest, that depends on how I feel at the moment.
Yeah. So what's a random? What's like your most common? Like you reach back for this fun food the most.
I really don't have one because I am a person who really like trying different things. So every time if I feel like I want to have some fun food, it's either gonna be nugget, sometimes it can be chocolate, sometimes it can be interesting chips that I found on a shelf. Like the other days I found Pop Drops Tears popcorn. Yeah.
Pops, drops,
Drops,
tears,
tears.
popcorn.
Yeah. So it's
what is
literal.
it?
So it's like popcorn, but they are not using corn. They are using drop steers. So this ingredient is like barley, but Chinese barley. So it looks quite different from barley, but it looks very similar to barley, but it's not barley. So it's called drop steers. So it's called pop drop steers. So I'm like, okay, let's try it. So we had that at one point, and then sometimes I'll go for chips if I'm feeling like, oh, I want to have this with my movie night.
Interesting. So fun food can be from nuggets
Yeah.
to chips.
Correct.
It's just something that makes you feel good, and you can really just satisfy your random craving of the week.
Of the week. Yeah.
Of the week.
Of the week. Correct. Sometimes I take even longer than that to finish that fun food. So I don't
just
have
so
to
you have it around the house, and you don't feel so like controlled by I have to eat healthy food all the time. And I think people have this mindset where they should not have anything that is deemed unhealthy in order to consistently be healthy.
Yes, correct.
Right. So which makes food sound very scary to a lot of people, which is why people have fear when it comes to planning their meals. They're too scared to be healthy because healthy sounds untasty. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't sound tasty, right?
Correct.
So that they look at a bowl of food and be like, oh, that looks healthy. That means it's not nice. But I've also come to the point where actually I think if you put it together, ingredients that you like that's whole, like whole food,
Yeah.
put everything in together that you like, your choice, they can end up really, really good.
Yeah, correct.
And you feel good eating.
yeah.
So that's what I feel. So, which is why I think a lot of people feel like it's so hard to be healthy here in Malaysia, because there's our nasi lemak, there's our things that we deem unhealthy, and there's all these stats about how Malaysians are have the most unhealthiest diet and things like that. What's your opinion about that? And is there a way to navigate around eating better with our culture?
I think a lot of the time it really boils down to the mindset around food. So, like what you said, some people would think healthy means it has to be bland, it has to be only salad, only chicken breast and broccoli. So that's the mindset. And I don't blame them because we have been taught that that's healthy. that's considered healthy, and that's the way to go. That was only the way
That's
to go.
the only way
To go,
Yeah.
correct. So that's why right now I am trying to help people to understand better about that, and not just me. Of course, there are a lot more nutritionists and dietitians are also doing this, but generally we are also trying to help people to understand you don't have to do that, because when it comes to cultural food like Malaysian food, we can approach it in a way where, yes, it can be high in fat, high in calories, it is more carbohydrates forward, and we have lots of variety, and those different reasons will make us overconsume, overeat easily. So the concept around this is actually more about over-consuming rather than the food itself.
So it's not even about consuming, it's about what you over-consume.
Correct. So the consuming part, we can deal with it later, but you can start with not over-consuming first. So I think by just focusing on that one simple advice, then you can see a big difference in your probably calories intake, or even in your health, because overconsumption is one of the main reason for our
But then
health.
the question comes in that I imagine will be, but then what is over-consuming?
Like eating more than what you need. It's as simple as that. Your body only need this much calories, but you are over consuming, for example, sugar, fat. So I think the thing is that a compilation or accumulation of different food that we have in Malaysia makes it easy to overconsume. So how do we avoid overconsuming is to be more mindful of what are the foods that we eat accumulatively. Like for example, are you eating one bowl of curry mee with one whole cawan of teh tarik full sugar in one go? Are you aware of that? And then in your afternoon, are you eating chao fan, fried rice, without asking for more vegetables, without portion controlling? And then at night, are you skipping dinner, or are you munching on snacks even after dinner? So all of these extra steps, or all of these extra calories that you consume mindlessly is something that we can start to look at it more of. So once you are more mindful of your calories intake and what you are eating, it's easy for you to make modification throughout the day. For example, if curry mee, you can eat curry mee, but you don't finish drinking your curry mee soup. Teh tarik, you order less, kurang manis. So those are one simple steps that you can start changing already. So I'm not saying that you cannot eat all of this, but it's just being more mindful of what you are over consuming. Like, are you over consuming fat? Are you over consuming sugar, added sugar? Are you over consuming salt? So these are the things that, people can be more aware of.
So, but then what is the standards of over-consuming? For me, I may feel like I can eat whatever you just said and still don't feel like I'm over-consuming. It's making me, because over-consuming to me maybe is just the idea of being very full.
Yeah, right.
But now in your context is your calories that you need per day, right? How do I identify that to know? And where can I get information about what I'm eating, and how do I catch up and tabulate that for myself?
Yeah, a very good question. So a very practical way is to go online and go check your TDEE, your
What does
total
that
daily energy expenditure. So when you type in total daily energy expenditure calculator online, you will be able to find any calculator where it requires you to key in your age, gender, your very roughly estimation or roughly estimation of your activity level. So when you key that in, the amount of calories after they calculated for you is the amount of calories you need for your day-to-day life. So if you are eating more than that, which means you are over consuming. If you are eating less than that, you are under consuming. Yeah. So those are the very basic understanding about calories. Yeah. So I think it goes back to calories intake if we are talking about over consuming. But if you are not a very number oriented person, I think just now you just said one of a very good indicator. I'm feeling very full. If you are feeling very full every single meal, that's probably you are over consuming. So you shouldn't be feeling very full every single meal. And of course, down the road, when you see your weight increasing, that's over consuming. Yeah, so that's very likely that you are eating more than what you need. Your calories in is more than calories out.
Speaking about feeling full, I think a lot of people in our age, day and time, because of the nature of our work, not everybody gets to enjoy a slow paced meal, right? Everybody may just want to get themselves full and then get on with their day because it's just surviving skills, right?
Yeah.
I think food to a lot of people till this day is about just making sure you've had your lunch and dinner and then you move on with your day. But what would you say about what do you think about someone who just have, because every day it's so easy for us to just get Indomie goreng, Maggi goreng, right? And that's a lot of carbs. But they are also not eating above their calories, for example. But that's their pattern every single day.
Yeah.
What do you think about someone like that? And do you think there's room for improvement for a healthier lifestyle? Or do you think that's actually okay as long as you're in within the calorie intake?
So this is a very, very good directions of what we are discussing right now. So yes, the first thing we have to be mindful of is our calories intake. So once you kind of know how much you are eating already, you do have to dive deeper. You do have to dive deeper and look at whether you are eating balanced meal or not. So one of the way that indicate whether we are eating balanced meal or not is using the Malaysian healthy plate that developed by our Ministry of Health Malaysia, suku separuh concept. So have you heard of it?
Is it the whole plate and then you got a suku, like you have a one plate of vegetables, is it?
Okay.
Half plate of vegetables and then just carbs and then protein.
Okay,
I don't know.
okay.
It's a guess.
Generally
it's a guess.
Generally is that. So it's one circle plate. Half of the plate should be fruits and vegetables, and then another quarter of the plate should be carbohydrates. Another quarter of the plate should be protein. So, other than calories intake, you do also have to be more mindful about your macronutrients distribution. Like for example, are you eating enough fiber from fruits and vegetables? And are you portion controlling your carbs? Are you eating enough protein? So by using that, it can be a very easy indicator to understand whether you are eating well or not. So for example, if someone is not eating more than what they need, they are maintaining their weight, but most of their meal doesn't look like suku separuh, then which means this is also another step that they can move on to see whether they can move their meals towards suku separuh.
I see. So it's actually by stage. So first things first, you just got to see whether you are over consuming. And if that's not helping you, in case you're having a little bit of complication with how you feel with your body, find out if you're over consuming. And then if nothing changes after that, then you got to look into what you are eating.
Yeah, correct.
See if it's suku separuh.
Correct.
But I can be someone who's saying, but if I don't have enough carbs, I don't feel full. So what can I do? If my plate is just quarter and it's a quarter of carbs, but usually I'm just used to a lot of carbs and just I want Sapporo to be my carbs. And then I think realistic.
Yeah.
I think it's just how people visually eat before their
Correct,
bodies
correct,
take in, right?
correct,
So they will feel like, oh my god, I need all of this rice to feel full. Visually feel like I will be full.
Visually.
I predict that I can only be full with this, and then just a bit of rice and a bit of protein. Is that bad?
We would really have to dive deeper to ask that person, how is your activity level? So the suku separuh is definitely a guideline. There are certain population that actually need a little bit more carbohydrates, depends on their activity level, right? So athlete, they may need more than that. They might be one third. So everything is 1/3. So that's for athlete. But are you an athlete? If not, then what is the activity level? And have you even tried eating it first? So I want you to be curious about your body response first. I understand that it can be difficult to convince people to do that, but you can try first. You can try once or twice and see how's your hunger level going on. So if you still feel hungry, perhaps you can increase more fruits and vegetables because the volume can help you to feel full. You can increase more protein. So if after increasing more protein, after increasing more fiber, you are still feeling full, then we can move on and see how we can adjust the carbohydrates. Or do we need snacks in between? So there are so many rooms that we can play with before cut off and before cutting off and saying that, oh, I only need carbs to feel full. Actually, there are so many other things that help us to feel full. So yeah, I think it's more about be curious about what kind of combination of food makes you feel full, and if you are actually tuning in to your
your
hunger
own body.
cues. Correct.
So it's really not a one size fits all situation. And of course, with these guidelines, hopefully everybody who's listening, you are able to improve the way you eat, the way you consume. But before we say anything, you just got to try it out first.
Correct.
Don't try it out for one day and feel like you can't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You maybe just pace it out a little bit, try for 3 days. Because if you suddenly change from a full carb, 70% carb situation to a sudden like 70% vegetable situation, your body's not used to it.
Yeah.
And it's just in your head too, I think. So I would suggest that you try it on for about a week.
Yeah, or make gradual change.
Or
So
make
from
gradual.
70% to 60%, and then 50%. So you slowly reduce the carb portion. You don't have to be so ambitious and make your carbs into quarter right away from half. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, Zhi Ling, just to have a little break in between the conversation, as of every other guest that comes on the show, we have a show and tell session. So before our guests come, you're asked to bring 3 of your most memorable items that mean something to you. And I know that you've brought 3 items today. Walk us through the first item.
Okay. So this item is let me show you. It's a skipping rope. Very worn skipping rope.
I've seen you with a skipping rope. This
Yeah.
was COVID days, was it?
Correct.
Oh my God.
Correct. Oh my God, you
Yeah,
remembered.
Yeah.
So yes, this was one of the first few skipping rope that I had back in COVID days. This was meaningful. This is meaningful for me because it's kind of like a start of a era of different Zhi Ling. So back in the days when I was in high school, when I was in university, I wasn't a person who's very athletic. I don't see myself as athletic. So, but during COVID, I was so bored, and Jen is affecting, is influencing, literally influencing everyone to do jump rope. So I bought jump rope and I started
Wait,
jump
you
rope.
started after watching her video?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So that's when I started my jump rope, and then it kind of builds my confidence around sports, especially. So I realized, oh, actually, I'm not that bad. I can play around, I can explore. So that also helped me to establish a very good foundation of athleticism. So I wouldn't say I'm a very athletic, but at least I am coordinated. So from the skipping rope, and then it brings me, not really brings me, but it helped me to opens up my heart to skating. And then I'm not afraid of trying new sports. Yeah, I went skating, I went bouldering. So this is kind of like a reminder of me that you actually can be sporty.
You broke down your own perspective that you can't do sports.
Yeah.
With this
Skipping rope.
Skipping
Correct.
rope.
This is the start of the era.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then you mix it with good eating,
Yeah.
like healthy eating, well-balanced food. Have you seen a change after you
Yes.
started moving?
Yes, definitely. And because skipping rope is also tapping into the part where I want my life to be fun. Because I do a lot of free skipping rope, free jumping. So it requires me to dance with song, basically. So that actually also instill a part of a fun part into my life, a very fun section into my life, where it spills over to my food eating. It spills over to how I see the world also. So that I don't have to be so serious about the world, and just have fun. Just have fun with your food and be curious about your food. Basically just have fun. Yeah, this is one of the reason.
Wow. So it's really a reminder of how your life can change with just opening up something that you never thought you would touch.
Yeah.
It's just widening your perspectives of
Correct.
yourself. Getting
Correct.
to know yourself better. Like sometimes we live with ourselves so much, we think we know everything, but so much possibilities
Right.
are kept hidden inside,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, I love the skipping rope. Do you think you'll ever throw that? Is it the exact skipping rope?
Yes, this is the one of the first
One of the
few.
first.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
you brought a
proper one.
couple.
Proper. Yeah, I brought a couple. So this is one of the first few that lasts until now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you still
Yes.
jump on it.
Yes. I still jump on it.
Oh,
Correct.
that's very, very nice. Okay, what's your second one?
The second one is actually a postcard from Taiwan.
Ooh.
I bought this when I was in Taiwan solo trip. Yeah, when I was doing my solo trip. So I actually enjoyed that solo trip a lot because that was my first ever solo trip. And then that was also a solo trip where I feel like I received a lot of goodness from the trip. Like I was so lucky to be able to have a whole trip of river trip myself, river crossing trip. So basically river trekking, basically.
Oh.
Yeah, river trekking with the indigenous there. Yeah, so it's a tour.
Okay,
Tour
okay.
package.
I thought
But
you just walked into
Oh.
them like let's just
just
walk
walk.
with them.
indigenous people. It was a tour package, but I managed to have this all for myself because someone cancelled it. But then the indigenous guide said that it's okay, you come all the way from Malaysia, so I'm just give you a private tour.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then I also had the similar experience in another mountain tour package where I'm the only one who attended the tour, and then I had the whole car for myself. Yeah, so it's a lot
She's
of
quite a lucky girl.
yeah, so a lot of lucky, a lot of luck, a lot of goodness happened to me throughout the trip. And this particular moment of me having this bento after getting off from Hualien station, where I just reached Hualien, one of the states in Taiwan. I had this very immense happiness and gratefulness where I was like, I was so lucky to be able to do this myself and stay safe. And also when I was having this, I was talking to a girl beside me. She's an Indian. She was also doing solo travel.
Okay.
So we exchange a conversation, and then we talk a lot, and then we tell each other what we have been doing. And then that was the moment where I feel like, wow, I can do so many things. Yeah, and then I was like, okay, and this particular bento box is very, very tasty.
Oh.
It's super, super tasty. So it's like a combination of different things and reminds me of, okay, maybe you should be brave, you know? If you want to do something, just go do it.
Also a point of self-discovery, I see.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
So
correct.
Both your items are very self-discovery. And
Yeah.
these are all actually not too long ago.
Not too long ago,
Not
correct.
too long
correct.
ago.
It's a very recent self-discovery, correct.
Is your third one also a similar
Uh,
self-discovery story?
It's not really self-discovery, but also it's kind of like a reminder of my past and reminder of my privilege, I guess. Yeah, so the third item is actually my tattoos
Oh.
on my
Okay.
on my leg. So I
Yes.
have both tattoos.
So you have two tattoos.
Two tattoos.
Okay, walk us through your tattoos.
It was so weird to show
see
it to
the camera?
So the first tattoo is actually banh mi.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I get a tattoo artist to help me to draw. It's called, her name is Care Bear, so in case anyone want to know, her name is Care Bear. So Care Bear helped me to draw a banh mi noodle bowl here. And I wanted this particular banh mi tattoo because banh mi is Hakka food.
Okay.
And
Hakka?
I'm Hakka. Yeah, so Hakka is representing my father's side.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I want to have this to remind of my root and also to remind of my father. And also I purposely want to have that chicken bowl
chicken,
because
yeah.
I am chicken. Zodiac. My
Oh.
zodiac sign is chicken.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So all of these, and banh mi is my favorite food lah. So and I have this around this area because I want this picture to remind me of my root. So
And
that's
your
why
feet is
yeah.
your root.
Correct.
I see.
Correct. So that's why I tattooed it here. So that's one.
Walk me through your decision making when you were thinking about the size of the tattoo.
Yeah, so I actually didn't expect it to be that big.
Okay.
So I told Tab Bear, hey, I wanted this and that. So I assumed that I want this size. Right? And then but then she said, oh, okay, but then if this small, then the details will start to blur after a few years. Yeah, because it's so small, right? Then I was like, all right. Okay, let's go. Let's go big. Let's do whatever
I see.
you want.
Just on the spot.
On the spot, I just let her decide the size of it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, just do it, because
And that was your first tattoo?
that is my first, and actually I did it both at once, twice.
Wait, is that also the same
correct,
tattoo?
same tattoo.
Oh, they are mirrors.
Oh no, not same, but I did it in the same occasion.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, So another tattoo here. I don't know whether you can see it. It's actually braid.
bread?
Yes. Oh, thank you so much for seeing that. Not everyone can see that it's a braid.
Really?
Yeah, it's braid.
Yeah.
So it's bread and jam, and these are the jams that my family always use.
Oh.
Yeah, so the tall sandal flour
Okay.
jam. Yeah, so that's the jam, and then butter and bread. So this reminded me of my mother because she loves baking. So it's both of it is food and I love both of the food item. I love banh mi, I love bread. It's all about carbs.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
it's all
true.
carbs. I love them. So my love towards bread is also probably established by my mother love towards baking because she bakes
Oh,
us
she
a lot.
bakes.
She bakes. Yeah,
Okay.
she bakes bread throughout my teenage years. So a lot of the bread that we had back then, it was from her. Yeah, so we were quite fortunate to be able to have freshly baked breads throughout our teenager. So that reminds me of my mother and also
Also
my
the
root.
root.
Yeah,
Also the root.
also the root.
So both tattoos, one side dad, one side mom.
yeah,
And it's all I love how every single detail has a meaning to
Meaning,
it. That it's also the root of it. That's why it's where it is.
yeah, it
right?
grounds me.
What did your parents say?
Oh, at the beginning when they saw it, they were like, "What happened? Why?"
Were they against tattoos?
They were not a fan of tattoo. Correct. Correct. So the moment when my mom saw it, she she was so disappointed. Oh no! Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's just tattoo. So I reminded her that it's just tattoo, and then I told her all the reasons of why I'm taking this and that, and eventually she has to accept it lah. Of course.
I mean, it's already
Yeah,
done.
it's already
Mom.
done. Correct. I didn't tell them when I decided to do it, and my dad was like, it's nothing. It's so common nowadays to have people to have tattoos, and of course they also thought that my decision is because of my boyfriend. Because I
Because
only
he has
did that.
tattoos.
He has tattoos, correct. So I also only did that when after I got together with him. But the wanting a tattoo is already way before I had that in my mind way before I met him. Yeah, so it's not because of him.
But would you say he supported you in what you wanted to do?
He
That's
didn't
why?
he didn't support per se, but Care Bear was actually his contact.
I see.
The tattoo artist was his contact.
He had like a trusted person. If you
Correct.
wanted to do, this is where I go.
Correct.
Right,
Correct,
understand.
correct.
Well, thank you for sharing with us
Yeah.
3 of your most valuable items. I think in your head. Please let us know if you have something similar like her tattoo. I think it's a whole banh mi with the mushrooms and the vegetables. Don't forget, it's a balanced meal right on her
exactly.
feet.
Yeah, you're right.
I love how that also represents what you are advocating for.
Correct.
So back to the concept of nutrition. What's one nutrition myth that you are sort of like tired of debunking? I'm sure there's so many like nutrition facts or myths out there, and you're like, oh, not this again. This is not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of it would be fruits is bad for you.
Fruits is bad for you. I've never heard of that. Really? Some people think fruits are bad for
Actually,
you because
yes.
what? Because it's sweet?
Sugar.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So it's the misconception around sugar that leads to this another misconception about fruits. So it's like, oh, fruits is actually high in sugar. You shouldn't be eating too much. I can understand the intention, but not a lot of people are eating too much of the fruit.
Not enough for
Not-
it to be too much.
Correct. And if a lot of people are eating too much fruit, then our NHMS National Health and Morbidity Survey won't show us that 90+% of Malaysians not eating fruits and vegetables, not eating enough fruits and vegetables, right? So by having this misconception is not helping because people are not eating eating enough fruits generally. So that already adds another barrier. That already adds another barrier to eating fruits. And by not eating enough fruits, you are not also getting enough vitamins and minerals. And I want people to understand that when it comes to fruits, yes, it has sugar, but it also comes with a lot of vitamins and minerals and fiber. So you are not just eating fruit, not eating sugar from the fruit, but you're also getting a whole lot of package. Yeah. So perhaps the root cause of this particular misconception is stop seeing food as one single
Thing.
component of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So you just choose to look at fruits as sugar
Yeah.
when there's so many other things that you can benefit from it. And if you minus a teh tarik out, the sugar in the fruit is probably like better for you, right? Yeah. It's,
Correct.
it really depends on how you look at the food and what
Correct.
you choose to identify the food with.
Yeah, correct. And how you eat it with, like, for example, if you are talking about another myth that is also very popular that a lot of people ask, it's rice. Like rice is bad for you. So it's the same thing. So you don't see rice as just rice because rice is such important. It's so culturally important for us as Asian. So it's more important to ask how rice can play a part in our role, in our diet, in our culture, and are we eating too much of the rice? And what kind of food are you eating it with? So a lot of people have this notion of rice is bad. It's also probably because when they cut out rice, sorry, when they cut out rice, they're also cutting out a lot of the dishes that you eat it with because you can't just eat those dishes alone. It's not tasty.
Yeah.
Right. So if you have rice, it's very easy to overconsume because we have a lot of dishes that is very tasty.
Sap fan, you know, in
Yeah.
Cantonese, they're like things that really like the rice, the thief of rice, right? Like you because of this, you eat so much more rice.
Correct.
Like yu fan lampo, I need a lot of rice to go with that. But that's an
Right.
oily dish.
Right. So a lot of the time it's the behavior around the food, the how we eat it, how we eat the food, and the amount of the food that we eat that decide whether this food can be part of our life. So most of the time, a lot of the food can be part of our life. It's just how we can understand it in a deeper sense. Yeah.
So two myths. Fruits is safe to consume without you worrying too much about the sugar levels.
Yep.
And rice is not always bad.
Yep.
Okay, but I have one more question to ask. I don't know if it's a myth or it is. You can debunk it for me if it is, because I noticed that a lot of your content revolves around cooking with a microwave. Well, I've grown up in a household that doesn't believe in microwaves. In fact, in my house, there's no microwave. I've had it maybe up to when I was maybe 8, 9, 10, I think. And then maybe somewhere in the newspapers or somewhere at that time, there's no Facebook gurus,
Yeah.
that told our parents that microwaves are bad. It's radiation, it's what causes cancer. And since then, my family has gotten rid of a microwave until today. So it's been 20 over years with my life without a microwave. So, but you're a nutritionist. So to me, when I watch your content, I'm like, wait, she's using a microwave to cook. So is a microwave, our microwave recipes okay for the long term? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand the notion of why people think microwave is bad because it comes in several different angles. So the first angle is the radiation part, right? Because microwave is indeed using radiation, but people doesn't understand radiation enough to discern whether this is good or bad, right? So microwave, it's using non-ionizing radiation. So radiation, there is a spectrum of radiation that we use for different purposes, different tools. So X-ray, gamma rays, those tools that we are using ionizing radiation. So those radiation has the tendency to affect our DNA, affect our cells. So that's why you don't want to go near gamma ray and X-ray.
You don't take an X-ray every day.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then there's another spectrum of radiation that's called non-ionizing radiation. So those are like our cell phone, our microwave, our TV. So those are radiation that we expose to daily that doesn't change the cell of our or DNA of our cell. Yeah, so it's safe to use that in our daily life. And of course, the manufacturers of microwave also make another precautionary step where all the radiation that you are using is contained in the box. The radiation is not coming out. So it doesn't affect us directly. It's just used that to cook the food. So, and how the radiation cook the food is that it just using that radiation to vibrate the water molecule in the food to increase to produce heat. Yeah, generally. So that's how it works. So by understanding the mechanism behind how microwave works will help you to understand microwave better. But there is another angle that come in where when people say microwave food is bad, is because a lot of the time the food that they microwave is processed food.
Oh, it's all instant.
Yeah.
Like you microwave a pack of noodles.
Yeah. Yeah, microwave a pack of noodles, microwave a frozen meal that is bought from grocery store. I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just that a lot of people associate that food as bad. So they will also automatically associate that microwaving that kind of food is bad for you because the food itself is also already quite low in nutrition.
But the difference here is that you make food that's whole just using a microwave, right? That's the difference where you have in your content. It's not about making this food warm. The microwave is not for it. Is not for you to make the food warm.
Yeah.
It's actually to cook certain types of things that's just easily doable in a microwave.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to spend time thinking about how to cook it, thinking about how to turn on the stove and like cleaning up after. It's an easy one bowl, one everything altogether, right?
Yeah.
How did you come to deciding that, hey, actually this is not a bad idea, like that direction of content?
Oh, so this I have to pay homage to my mother.
Your mother?
Yeah.
Microwaves and mothers don't go along.
So, yeah, right. A lot of people, their fear was coming from mother, but my love towards microwave is actually coming from my mother because
So
my
she inspired you to
Yes.
cook more with the microwave?
Yes. Because back then, when she was cooking a lot for my family, so she used microwave to cook fried garlic. She used microwave to make garlic oil. She used microwave to cook salt baked chicken.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's her. That's our daily life.
You know what? Maybe your mom is the type that reads the manual. Because,
Maybe.
right, because I bet that there's so many buttons on the microwave. Like the microwave that I used to have, I remember there was so many buttons. It's not just a 20-second, 40-second,
Correct.
60-second button.
Correct.
There's a lot of things that I remember seeing like a chicken logo on it as well. But probably nobody uses it to actually cook, which makes a lot of sense now because maybe from the beginning the microwaves are there to cook for you.
Yeah.
It's like an oven.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Tell me more. And then
So because of her normalizing using microwave in my household, in our household, so it makes it easy for me to adopt microwave in my university or in my adult life because it's just common for me. And I've seen how she cook and how good is the food is coming out from microwave. So I started doing it and then level it up to cook the whole meal inside microwave. So not just chicken, not just oil, but a whole entire meal. For example, I get to learn this both from my mother and also Aaron, which is my chef boyfriend. He himself.
I
his
love
family,
how he gets Aaron, my chef boyfriend.
it's so common. Yeah, so it's that's a tagline.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
chef boyfriend. So his family also use microwave to cook rice. Wow. He cooked rice in microwave. So back then they don't have enough like cooking utensils or kitchen appliances in his house. So they use microwave to cook rice. They use microwave to cook fish. So there are a lot of appliances, the applications of microwave in our daily life. So I cook chicken, I cook rice in microwave. I make 1 serving chili oil in microwave. Recently, I made 1 pot microwave hot pot in microwave. So there are so many things that we still haven't tapped into for microwave.
So much
Cooking.
possibilities with
Yeah.
just a single appliance that our parents told us to stay away from. But not her parent, not your mom.
Yeah.
And all these recipes you come up with yourself, or like you like to experiment with? I think you're a very curious person.
Yeah.
Like you stay curious about ingredients, what this does, what that does, what's this called. So does that allow you? Do you try to remake somebody else's recipes and try it for yourself with your own spin?
Yeah, I do. So a lot of time, of course, my recipe is also kind of an inspiration from local food, from other people's recipe, and thinking how can I cook that local food into a one pot meal. So I have to break down the steps and see how can I make it into just one pot.
I see.
So without using too much kitchen tools to create to cook. So yes, a lot of the inspiration especially is coming from local dishes. So I would really love to cook local dishes modern kitchen appliances. So that's actually always my, is it my goal? I wouldn't say it's my goal. It's just me curious how we can cook.
Something you enjoy,
Yeah.
just finding out if I can
Correct.
simplify this and make it
Correct.
easy for everyone, accessible for everyone to make, so that we are not so scared to make different kinds of food in our own kitchen, right?
Correct. So it's a very funny thing that I am a person who want to simplify a lot of things and think about how can I make it easy for my audience. But my boyfriend, because we are living together, Chef Aaron,
My chef boyfriend?
my chef boyfriend Aaron, he will call. Sometimes he will say that maybe not too simple. It's important to preserve the heritage, preserve this part of the ingredient, preserve this part of the recipe, so that you don't lose too much of the essential things in the recipe. So both of us kind of balance each other. So I get to learn a lot of things from him about the ingredients, local ingredients, so that I can understand which part of it can be simplified, which part of it is important. Yeah.
Like, don't take the mushroom out of the banh mi, for example. I don't know, like
Maybe.
something like that.
Yeah.
Right, because that's really, for example, it's like that's truly the essence of the food. So
Yeah.
you don't take out the
Lemak in
anchovies
the
from
nasi
nasi lemak.
lemak.
Lemak in the nasi lemak. You cannot just make it into something else.
Yeah.
Replace with pineapple or something. That's not nasi lemak already. So it's good that he supports you with all these like history of food.
Yeah.
But you still continue to make it easier, because honestly it's hard to explain something and simplify something if you don't have enough knowledge about it. That's what I feel. So if you're good at explaining something, you truly have to understand the food well enough to create a simplified version of it. And I think that's where I suppose your effort goes into, really just understanding the dish and seeing what works when I cook it this way. Right, so for us, it's like a 1.5 minute, 2-minute reel.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of process that goes behind. How long do you take to make one video?
Sometimes it can be quite fast. Some of the recipe reel I was doing was actually shot on the go, where I realized, hey, tonight I'm cooking this. Maybe this is a good content for my audience. Let's just set up and then just record. Don't think too much. We can write down the recipe later. So that some of it is that, but some of them I will have to properly plan. For example, one of the recent one was one prep for meals. So I teach people the concept of how you can prep one big batch of protein or one big batch of vegetables, so that you can incorporate them into 4 meals throughout the week, so that you have at least one home cooked meal per day throughout the week. So that requires some planning. So that entire one short reel probably take me a few days, because I do have to shoot different types of meal combination. And I'm not the kind of person where I can just shoot all 4 different meal combination in one go and that's it. So I would prefer it to be really real life application, where I actually shoot when I'm eating. Yeah, I don't want to waste food. I don't want to shoot just because I want to shoot this content. Yeah. So sometimes few days, sometimes can be just 2 hours, 1 hour shooting, but editing would take few days. Yeah.
Quite organic, like actually the
Quite
way
organic,
you prep your content.
Yeah.
When it comes to meal prep, that means you gotta prep your food and then you put it in the fridge and then you eat it like 4 days later, right? But there's also the consensus or like some opinions about how then your food's not fresh anymore. Does it matter?
It matters when you are not keeping it correctly. So it's important when you know that you are going to eat this for a few days, and you know that this is not this particular dish, you are not going to finish it, you have to keep it right away. The other day I had this conversation with one auntie in corporate training. When I was having my corporate training, I realized that there are a lot of parents, grandma and grandpa, when it comes to leftovers, they have this misconception where it's bad. But it's bad because you have left it outside in room temp for more than 2 hours. You only keep it after 10 hours in the fridge. So that's when the bacteria is already flourishing in the dish, and then you keep it in the fridge and then you eat it next day. That's already not a good practice anyway. So if you want to make meal prep or you want to make leftover actually easier and make it work for you, at the beginning we do have to learn about food safety. So for example, once you cook your meal prep, keep it into the fridge within 2 hours. Don't leave it on the table at room temperature more than 2 hours.
Because apparently if you keep your food when it's hot, it's bad.
Oh, now, yeah, because that was back then when we haven't had a really good fridge technology, right? So that particular notion, that particular concept passed down until now, where we continue to do that. But to be honest, if you really want to be cautious, you can just put it in front of a fan, blow it until just warm to touch. You can keep it in
Like
the fridge
15
already.
minutes, 10, 15
Yeah.
minutes, and then just keep it in the fridge.
Correct. You can
Does
keep
it
it
have
in
to
the
be the freezer?
Depends on how
it
you're gonna
is.
eat it. So if you know that this particular week you are not gonna finish it, just keep it in the freezer. Yeah, and you can pack it into one portion size so that it's easier for you to defrost. So pack in one portion size, keep it in freezer, and you can last for 3 to 4 months.
And you defrost with the microwave lah.
Yes.
That's a problem. That's a problem. Oh my goodness. And you're sharing with me all these know-hows, and like, to me it's all knowledge, right? From you as an experienced nutritionist and you dealing with food. But also as a content creator, you receive a lot of different opinions and comments and things like that. So how do you actually make sure that your content, because it comes with knowledge too, like it's evidence based as well. So like if you claim that this is better for you, do you put effort into making sure that, okay, this is the science that goes behind it, and then you explain, or how do you plan your content around it so that people are convinced with the message you're trying to convey?
So a lot of the time when, recipe reel, there's nothing too much opinion that people can give, unless I didn't use lemak for nasi lemak. So, but for very factual based content, like for example microwave content or anything that talks about knowledge lah, basically, then I will have to make sure I'm presenting knowledge with nuance, with as much possible different angle as I can, so that I can address different perspective. So, and I try my best not to tell people what to do. I am presenting information for you. So these are my suggestions, but you have to choose what works for you. So these are always the reminder that I do for my audience, where a lot of the information that I'm presenting is information for you. So whether you want to take it, it's up to you. If there is any comment coming in and saying that, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, I'll analyze whether they are coming in with emotions or they are just coming in with curiosity. So if it's quite easy to know that if there's question and they don't use any emotional words, it's most likely coming from a place of curiosity. So I'll answer. And if they address some point that I miss out, I will accept it, and I'll also discuss with them. So that's how I approach criticism, so-called. I wouldn't say criticism, it's just questions.
It's just a suggestion or a comment that you see, right?
And then if they come in with emotions, and that's when the time where, depends on my mood, whether I want to argue with them.
Yeah.
If I don't have capacity, I'll just leave it.
Okay.
Yeah, if I have the capacity, I'll just see what else can I poke. Yeah.
Understand. But have you had any bad experience with your online audience?
I think generally I am also quite blessed with a very good
Positive audience, right? I noticed that.
Yeah, very curious audience where they ask questions. Even if, for example, if they disagree with respect, and then they discuss with me. There are very few comments that are very personal. So those comments, they are, how will I say this? They're just coming in with emotions and they don't know the they don't know the entire picture, and then they comment from their not his from their very narrowed perspective. So when I understand that, I was like, nah, it's okay. I don't have to argue with them because they're coming from a very narrowed mindset, and they are also very famous in doing this in other people's page. So it's very well, like probably a very well infamous among the fitness industry. Then I was like, okay, nah, it's okay. It's that person again, so I don't have to be
Very
bothered.
objective, like basically it's just case by case, and
by case.
usually you're just like, I don't need to spend my energy here because I know what I'm talking about. But if this person chooses to see it the other way, then so it be,
Yeah.
and then I'll just move on.
Yeah.
I'll just move on. There's no really a need to create like some sort of chaotic energy to discuss something that is actually very subjective. Food is so subjective.
Yeah.
But I want to know for you, there's so much food available for us right now. Is there a particular food item that to you is like, oh, this is my comfort food. I need to have this after a very long day?
You know, as cliche as it sounds, it's gonna be noodles.
Noodles.
Yeah,
So
it has
you're-
to be
You're a
noodles.
noodles kind of girl.
Yeah, I'm a noodles kind of girl. If not, I won't be tattooing my
My pan mee. By the way, it's soup pan mee.
it's soup pan mee. It's not chili pan mee. So yes, it has to be soup noodles. So it's either vegetable soup noodles or creamy
Aaron
soup
makes
noodles.
really good noodles.
Yes, Aaron made he made really good
And I
noodles.
only know because I've been to the restaurant. He makes really good noodles.
Really good noodles.
Yeah.
So just one bowl of soup noodles will just calm my mind, and then it will be a very good end to my long day. Yeah.
Okay. Before we end this episode, there's one question I always like to ask the guests, and it is, if you had to live with one Malaysian food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Wow. If you're okay, one Malaysian food,
You can only choose one, and then you eat it for the rest of your life.
oh my god, can I go back to banh mi?
You absolutely can. You absolutely can.
Yeah, that's my intense love for banh mi. So like banh mi soup it's just so good. It's so easy to drink. It's so easy to eat, and then you have sayur manis in it. You have mushroom. You have minced meat. So it's comforting, and it's my root. So it's gonna be banh mi.
Recommend us to your favorite banh mi spot.
Wow, that's tough. That's tough. I think
Or at least a go-to that you think that, okay, I can't think of one favorite one, but if I had to right now, to a foreigner, to just taste the authentic taste of banh mi, this place is good.
to be honest, I haven't found really good soup banh mi yet.
So your house.
Yeah, I know. It's like, it's actually not that easy to find soup banh mi. It's very easy to make very good chili banh mi because the flavor is just very gao, very heavy. But soup banh mi, someone please suggest that to me.
Anything else you want to say to our audience before we wrap this up?
Probably just remind them about being curious. I guess it's always kind of like my core principle for myself. And if the audience doesn't know, my core principle for my page is actually to encourage empathy and curiosity around food and health. So I want them to have that, to have that sense of curiosity, because that sense of curiosity will bring them to a lot of places. Like for example, they're curious about what's lacking in their food instead of restricting their food. They will curious about the making of the food, so that they understand, this food actually high in saturated fat. So how can we go around it? So, or you're curious about how you can survive with very limited resources. So if you have limited resources but you are curious, maybe you can find a very innovative way to be healthy, or you are just generally being curious about how you can be flexible when you are in a very busy season of your life. Yeah. So I think curious is one of the things that will help a lot of people, I guess.
So stay curious with your food, and basically my takeaway from all of this is that there are guidelines for you when it comes to eating better, taking good care of your diet, but of course there's no one size fits all. find out what suits you best, let your body speak to you, and slowly adapt to see changes in your body, because something is bound to work for you. Just, I've also seen something somewhere that said it's not about what you eat, it's about what you don't eat. I've seen someone said something like, it's because whenever we go around, people are always like, so what do you eat to keep you like so well balanced, or keep you healthy? And you're like, yeah, actually it's not about the main problem is not about what I eat, it's about what I don't eat. And I guess that really falls back into the overconsumption of things, the things that don't fit your body, that you don't. So listen to your body and really see what fits you, so that you can make better choices.
Generally be mindful.
Generally be mindful, stay curious, and that's the final story. Thank you so much, Zhi Ling, for being on the podcast today. So to all our listeners, if you guys would like to check Zhi Ling out, you can find her at
Zhi Ling_nutrition on all social media platforms. So TikTok, YouTube, Instagram.
All right, so this was The Whole Story, a brand new podcast right here on View on Air by Resorts World Genting. So if you like more stories about Malaysians who have brought an impact, just like Zhi Ling, remember to follow us for more upcoming episodes or tag us at Resorts World Genting. I'm Natalie Chai, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!